So ladies and gentlemen, every so often, I used to have the unfortunate pleasure of going onto X and seeing the lovely, kind, stunning, and brave Joy Reid going viral for coming out with some of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard. Massive, massive understatement, by the way. If you know anything about Joy Reid and the show she had on MSNBC, you know what I'm on about. But not only that, for me personally, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when she did go viral, it was a struggle for me because I had to work out whether it was her or Jada Smith on my screen.
I shouldn't have said that.
But now, Joy Reid is going viral for something completely different. Her show on MSNBC, which was fantastic, has been cancelled. Surprise, surprise. So essentially the rumor is she has been fired. Now with her show getting cancelled, this is something many people saw coming. Many people said after the election her show won't survive because simply it isn't profitable to have someone who is getting paid millions to push out the anti-white rhetoric that she was pushing. You know the sort of stuff these woke liberals come out with, oh, white people this, white people that, people who voted for Trump, they're racist, they're this, they're that. She also did it so much on social media as well. If you've ever seen any of her TikToks going around, man, it is insane. And well, at the end of it, look what's happened. And in a video, and guys, you know what, I'm actually getting quite emotional just talking about this. She goes ahead and breaks down in tears talking about her situation at MSNBC. So once again, I know we have more woke liberal tears to react to. Who doesn't like a bit of that, right? Now, before we get into it and we all feel very sorry for Joy Reid, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is just briefly read this article to give some more context surrounding her very devastating situation. Joy Reid weeps as she breaks silence on MSNBC firing in first interview. Joy Reid wept as she broke her silence after being fired from MSNBC, expressing her anger and rage over her ousting. Oh, wow. The ultra-liberal pundit clarified that she is not sorry despite the cancellation of the readout as the struggling network looks to restructure its programming. I've been through every emotion: anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, guilt, a feeling that I let my team lose their jobs, Reid said during a Zoom conversation with the Win with Black Women podcast. I bet that's not liberal at all. Doesn't sound like it. The readout was cancelled amid tanking ratings. Wow, nobody saw that one coming. The ratings were low. Yeah, no surprise. A decision leaked early Sunday and confirmed by her bosses just hours later. Katie Phang, Jonathan Capehart, and Ironman Mo Yeldon have also reportedly been given the boot from their current time slots, the New York Post reported. Fellow NBCU asset NBC News further confirmed Monday that Lester Holt was also leaving his iconic nightly news gig. Sunday's meeting quickly grew tense and emotional, according to Status News, after the readout was dumped because of poor ratings. I mean, if you're gonna constantly call people racist just because they vote for somebody you don't like, of course the ratings are gonna tank. During the meeting, some of the angry employees demanded answers about why the show was cancelled and what it meant for their futures at MSNBC. Cutler insisted Donald Trump was not a factor in the decision and the network's changes were made based on data analysis and program strategy that she believes will best position MSNBC for the year ahead. She said the show's cancellation was part of a broader slate of programming changes that will be laid out on Monday. The show staff has reportedly expressed frustration and disbelief that they learned of the show's fate through media reports and not the network's leadership. Man, MSNBC, not a good place to be right now. But we're not going to carry on any further with that article because we have 2 minutes of Joy Reid to listen to. 10 seconds is enough if I'm honest, but let's check it out. Libs of TikTok post. Joy Reid breaks down sobbing while addressing being fired from MSNBC. My show had value. You know when you've eaten something really bad and it hurts your stomach and then, half an hour later you're on the toilet and, what you leave behind has more value than her show. I'm just going to be honest, but let's just take a listen.
My show had value and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value, And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I see Karen is there and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, that or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Um, or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
Tell me, Joy Reid, how Black Lives Matter and the chaos that that movement caused is from God or is of God. Tell me. But for nobody that has seen Joy Reid, and I imagine I have some people in the UK who have never heard of this woman, and quite frankly, I do envy you. But we're just going to check out a minute clip of what she was all about. And I want you to tell me, is it any surprise this show got cancelled? So Libs of TikTok again posts, Joy Reid has been fired. Turns out calling your political opponents racist every night for an hour doesn't get viewers.
We begin our final sprint, having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator, and controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class, and foments extravagant corruption in order to enrich the dictator and his friends.
Right. The fact that you can get on TV and call Trump the German leader from many years ago, you can call his supporters what his supporters were called, is absolutely insane. It really is. And I like this post that this person put out. What will she blame for her firing? Racism, sexism, fascism, misogyny, or Trump? I think if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but I would bet on every single thing. Every single one. Because that's what these people do. They blame everything and everybody apart from themselves. They never take any accountability. They never think they're in the wrong. It is always everybody else is in the wrong. If I do something and I face consequences for it, it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. This is the victim narrative that people just love to play into. This is the victim mindset everybody, especially on the left, they love to be in. Ladies and gentlemen, leave your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on Joy Reid breaking down and crying? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, once again, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. But until next time, it has been your host, JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.
My show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value.